Pre-Islam, I thought religion was go to church once a week. Understanding Islam, to me, it's so much more than what I perceived a religion to be before. It's a system for life. Islam is a system that makes you the best version you can be. Andrew, stop drinking completely. Not a single drink now. I think his reversion to Islam has brought more of an inner peace than I've seen in him before, which I think is quite a beautiful thing.
Ternyata ini alasan mengapa orang-orang kaya, selebritis, tokoh masyarakat, atlet-atlet yang sudah kaya raya di dunia barat ramai-ramai memeluk agama Islam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bertemu kembali dengan Kang Sian di Islam TV. Para sobat, ada video yang menarik, testimoni orang-orang kaya di dunia barat, di Eropa dan Amerika ramai-ramai masuk agama Islam. Islam memberikan kedamaian, sementara agama sebelumnya, Kristen dan Katolik sama sekali tak bisa membawa kedamaian.
Pre-Islam, I thought religion was go to church once a week. Understanding Islam, to me, it's so much more than what I perceived a religion to be before. It's a system for life. Islam is a system that makes you the best version you can be. Andrew, stop drinking completely. Not a single drink now. I think his reversion to Islam has brought more of an inner peace than I've seen in him before, which I think is quite a beautiful thing.
Jul Akar, atau yang biasa dikenal dengan Sartorial Suter. Namanya mungkin sedikit asing di telinga kita. Namun siapa sangka, dia adalah teman dekat sekaligus manajer dari influencer muslim Andrew Tate. Lahir sebagai seorang Katolik, Suter merasa mengunjungi gereja sekali sepekan itu adalah hal yang membosankan. Beda halnya dengan Islam, yang menurutnya seperti sebuah sistem kehidupan bagi umat manusia.
So, 13 years of Catholic schooling. I'll be honest, church was always a chore. I remember we used to hide so we didn't have to go to church in school. But it was presented as a chore, and it was always a very boring, very dull thing. Having moved to the Middle East, I've been here for 15 years. I've lived in Iran, Syria, a lot of time in Saudi, Iraq, and so on. I always felt that, especially when I'd see people rushing to the masjid for Joma prayer, I felt they've got something I don't. Not an envious thing, but just seeing, I see that they have a devotion and a brotherhood and a faith, a connection with God, which I don't. I always felt something was missing in that sense. But ultimately, my decision to revert, it was a long time coming. I was, I'd say, pretty serious about my reading for the last 5 years. Because it's not a small decision, right? There's no going back. Once it's done, it's done. It was not an emotional thing. It was purely logical. And my reasoning being that, first of all, if you want to get the most out of the human experience, why would you live without a connection to God? If you want to perceive humanity with a certain system that made you the most worthwhile human you could be, to live out your human experience in the best way possible, to therefore contribute the most to humanity, to your family, to society, and so on, why not Islam? Pre-Islam, I thought religion was go to church once a week. Understanding Islam, to me, it's so much more than what I perceived a religion to be before. It's a system for perceiving the world. It's a system for self-programming yourself effectively. What are you doing when you pray? You're giving gratitude. You're acknowledging that you are not, the center of the universe. You're conceptualizing things like shaitan, temptation. You're conceptualizing the fact that you are accountable to a higher force. How does that not make you a better human? If you can go to a mosque and feel an intense emotional connection with a higher power, feel the brotherhood of the men you're standing next to, there's a power there which I haven't really comprehended yet. I mean, the phrase Allahu Akbar, God is the biggest, the greatest. Just by acknowledging that and giving thanks, to me it gets your ego out of the way, it gets your problems out of the way. And yes, you could say, I'm grateful to God for everything I've been given. Ever since my kids were really little, before we go to bed, we always take turns saying 3 things we're grateful for throughout the day. Because I wanted to build that mindset in my kids to be grateful. Especially because growing up in Dubai, alhamdulillah, they have everything they could ever want. I wanted them to stay grounded and stay grateful. Now, I never push religion on kids. I think it's up to them to choose themselves. However, I said, Dad's going to the mosque, if you want to join, you can. I didn't incentivize it, didn't say let's ask him afterwards. And they both said, yes, I'd like to. So took my 8-year-old daughter, my 10-year-old son, we walked across the road, we did the ablutions. My son got completely wet, so he had to change his pants, go back to his pants, get a bit too much water involved. And they went in there, and it was, they prayed next to me. It was quite beautiful. Their first time, yeah. And afterwards, I said, how was that? And they said, yeah, it was good, Papa. It felt nice. That's cool. And again, I never push it on them. It's their decision. But then the next day, my son says, when are we going to the mosque, Papa? Really? You want to go? He says, yes, I do. The day after that, my daughter says, when are we going to the mosque, Papa? They loved it. Now, again, I'm not pushing it on them in any way, but even as kids, they felt the value of Salah. Yeah. They felt the beauty and the way you were able to tap into something bigger than yourself through Salah. So that to me speaks to the power of it. It's just every single component of my life that I've either let go of or that I've adopted in terms of new ways of living is just incredibly positive. So I have a very strong gratitude for Islam, and I'm committed to continuing to learn and to practice as earnestly and as accurately as I can, because I see the power in that. I see the benefits, both for me and the people in my circle and society as a whole, through practicing Islam very literally and very earnestly.
Yeah. To me, it's just, in a purely logical sense, Islam is a system that makes you the best version you can be, when practiced earnestly, and therefore makes you the most positive contributor to your family unit, to your brothers, to society. How can you argue against that? To me, it's overwhelmingly positive. So that was the turning point. It's a system for life to make you the best version of a man that you can be.
Masuknya Andrew Tate ke dalam Islam beberapa waktu lalu tak dapat disangkal menjadi perantara yang kemudian membuat semakin banyak orang di barat sana tertarik dengan Islam. Sutar salah satunya. Melihat perubahan signifikan dari temannya itu sejak masuk Islam, membuatnya begitu kagum dengan keindahan agama ini.
As you've seen some of the footage, there was a lot of drinking. Andrew stopped drinking completely. Not a single drink. Not a single drink, man. And I know, I'm with him on the jets. I'm with him, we travel together. Not a single drink, which I think is great. But also, anything he does, he wants to do it properly. That mindset of professionalism and of commitment. So I'd say that's the first big change. Secondly, he has a genuine, I think, a bit of an inner peace thing coming through, which I haven't seen before. He's a very driven man. There's a lot of focus to conquer, and we can talk about that more. I know a lot of people are concerned about the Tates. Those guys, they're serious guys in terms of their situational awareness, in terms of their mental fortitude, in terms of their discipline. More focused than ever, more aware of his duty to bring a positive message to the youth of today's world, which despite what the media says, all this negative press, they know they're going to win. So now it's just patience. Andrew especially is not a patient guy. He doesn't like sitting around doing nothing. So let's hope that his time is spent studying the Quran. I think his reversion to Islam has brought more of an inner peace than I've seen in him before, which I think is quite a beautiful thing.
Hanya Islamlah agama yang bisa membawa kedamaian. Maka tak heran apabila setiap hari berbondong-bondong orang-orang Barat, Eropa, Amerika, bahkan Asia dan Indonesia mendatangi Masjid dan Islamic Center untuk minta disyahadatkan. Bagaimana pendapat para sobat? Silakan tulis di kolom komentar. Mohon maaf jika ada yang salah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.